it was, I call it a forced quit. One, because if I didn't, it was literally all going to be taken away from me, but I did choose. And I think a lot of times people feel like they're shoved into a corner and they have no option. And I want people to understand that forcing you into a corner is so that you have the option to live and breathe and find happiness versus staying stagnant and isolated and eventually into that space of either suicidal ideation or a health crisis. And so I honor you for making that choice, and also knowing that there's always that component of self that's like, I wonder what would have happened if, right?
Yeah.
If I would have stayed in that space, would it divinely aligned for my good, or any of those realms, but not wanting to live in regret either.
Yeah, it's, it's always a question, like the what ifs that potentially would have arisen if we stayed on one track or another, or stayed with one partner or another, or whatever you want to, insert
Yeah,
relevant
sure.
concept
100%.
for you right now listening. But the truth is, I believe everything happens for a reason. And, I wasn't destined to exit this tech startup and focus on that mission of serving that problem, because that wasn't aligned with my overall, God-given ability and calling. And so I think, it really comes down to following your intuition, and being just honest with yourself. Like right now, if you're listening and you're not completely aligned, and you feel a little bit of angst or stress or maybe anxiety around even just what you do for work, just taking the sole concept of career, like you do not have to sacrifice your soul any longer. You can make a pivot. You have to be brave, but you can make a pivot and you can step into your true power in full alignment.
That's so good. And here's that paradox of fear, right? That's the fear is the emotion, or bravery or courage, right? And so I think that is a call to humanity at this point, with everything that's going on, understanding that like the rat wheel in which we're actually taught, we're literally like, when we're little, like, hey, get on
Yeah.
here, and that's
Yeah.
success. Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, I didn't have a choice. I didn't even make that decision. It's like, these are the check boxes of life, and this is where you exist. And it sounds like that's where both of us kind of came to that halt of realization of like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm actually tired. And I think what's really important for us to realize too is that like, we have an opportunity through the way that we live and exist in alignment that's why we boldly broadcast this for you guys. This is the whole point of his podcast. This is the whole point of the mission of the Happy Hustle. And it's the same with Fit and Faith. Is like, you can be a founder, you can be an innovator, you can be a trailblazer without having to go to this place of ultimate burnout and exhaustion and loss. And one of the things you said, I'd love to hear your take on it, is this idea of intuition. And I think when you're on the rat wheel, intuition isn't even a component of self. It's like, maybe there are warning signs of like that pit in your stomach, or warning signs of your health deteriorating, or lack of sleep, and those things. But like, I couldn't hear the voice of God. That's for dang sure when I was in that space and that pace. Talk to me about how you've kind of tapped in to intuition and how you've utilized that to serve how you serve.
Yeah. So for me, it's just about getting quiet, getting still, focusing on my breath, practicing gratitude each and every day. And you'll be amazed at the downloads that take place in that quiet time. And it's no wonder why almost all of the most successful individuals in the entire world right now have some form of meditation, prayer, breath work, stillness. And I just think right now we're constantly going. Like we're plugged in to our devices nonstop, or watching streaming shows, or have our buzzing devices that are doing these dopamine dumps. And we're just constantly addicted to this next and latest thing. And we're not really allowing our intuition the chance to deliver, to really provide for us. It's a shame. And that's really, again, bringing it back to why I created, these Montana Mastermind Epic Camping Adventures, because it's like, when you can get out in nature and you just be still, you chill in the still, you would be
So good.
shocked.